Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 19 of our F125 LH44 career mode. Yes, we return this weekend here to the Circuit of the Americas for the US Grand Prix. Of course, this is the first sprint weekend we've done since Spa, but where I quite like Spa in this game, it feels like the first sprint race since Miami. It's going to be a long one. I think we've got 75 laps ahead of us this afternoon, combining the sprint race with the main event. Of course, if you missed out on the Singapore Grand Prix that went live a few days ago, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. We chalked up another victory this season. Our podium streak since Canada is staying alive at the moment. We have now got a 38-point lead over Lando Norris at the top of the World Championship, so irrespective of what happens this weekend, we will leave Texas still with that championship in our grasp. Of course, I want to make sure as we get towards the end of the year that, you know, if we could wrap this up with a race or two to spare, I would be very, very happy. Charles Leclerc still in P3 ahead of Max Verstappen means that in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari now have a 100-point lead almost over McLaren as well. So things are looking pretty good for both World Championships. Of course, if you're new, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're trying to hit 15k subs. Also, drop me a follow over on Twitch. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. We're trying to hit 10k over there before the end of 2025. But yeah, without further ado though, let's head into sprint qualifying. Yeah, just a lot of the practice programs in this game are Alonso's gone? What's he done? Where is he? He's at the final corner. He's just... Has he lost a wheel? Oh, he had a crash with... Oh, don't say he crashed with his teammate. So, Lance Stroll in front of him. What is this? So, Alonso's on a lap. We're literally a minute into sprint qualifying. Alonso's on a lap and Lance Stroll's killed him. I mean, to be fair, Fernando should have avoided him. That's incredible. Oh, man, that is so funny. Look at that. Like, what is that? Yeah, Lance has got about as much awareness in this game as he does IRL. Fantastic. Right, anyway, we've got a qualifying lap to do. I just want to try and get a decent banker on the board. At least we know we're going quicker than our first ever Formula 1 teammate. You know, Alonso, well, by the end of this session. I always forget how short this qualifying is. Wow, come on. One more corner to go then. It's felt like a pretty decent lap. Getting a time on the board. A little bit squirrely out the final corner. We go directly behind Leclerc. Half a tenth slower than our teammate on harder tyres. That's a pretty good omen. There's so many cars though in the way. I think there's a gap behind this Merc. That's George Russell. I don't think we're going to see many of the AI improve though, but less than 20 seconds left on the clock. We've got to get ourselves ready then for our final lap of anger. We might get held up by AI. Only time will tell. I'm going to try and give myself as much space behind George as I can. But getting ready then to start our final lap of anger here from the Circuit of the Americas. I know I can use a bit more battery down the back straight. Well, apparently I just cannot get the car slowed down at turn 1. But we will find a little bit of time back on the exit. That was terrible. Should never have used the outside curb. Just unsettles the front so badly. Through the S's we go. Down one gear, foot flat to the floor still. Oh, come on, don't understeer. Easy does it. Drag the car through the curbs and up over the top of the circuit. I'm hoping we find a lot of time throughout the second half of the lap. The first lap didn't feel too bad. I'm still a little bit worried that we could get held up. Get out of the way, sir. Lando, thank you, kind of. Where are you going? Thank you, doing. See, that's how you get out of the way. Lando trying to just force me into an error there as our main championship rival. 4 tenths up though. I don't think we're going to quite put this thing on pole, but I'm hoping we're going to be fairly close unless I can absolutely nail these final couple of corners and find a lot of time I didn't know was there. Certainly not with lines like that, I won't. We're going to be half a second up by the time we get round to the line. I think it's about P4. Well, there we are then. George Russell, a bit of a lap out of nowhere, to be honest, in that Mercedes there. So, a 10th clear of Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri will line up in 3rd, just ahead of myself. Mercedes, though, just look very quick here. Antonelli going quicker than Tsunoda, who out-qualifies Verstappen. Clearly, early season Tsunoda is back then inside F125. Leclerc down in 8th, a bit disappointed. Both Haas cars, home Grand Prix for them. inside your top 10, just ahead of Gabriel Bortoleto. And yeah, obviously Fernando Alonso down at the rear of the field, but we're in a pretty good place for the start of the Grand Prix. Like I said, I think the sprint is going to be more about learning the track, learning the race strategy. We shall wait and see. Whew, I'm nervous, chap. I'm nervous. Here we are then. Down on the grid though. US GP sprint race. It reckons we should be able to do this on one set of mediums. I can't remember how bad tyre wear is now around this track on this game. But I'm hoping that's going to be fairly doable. I don't know whether it'd be... you don't really want to pit, do you, in a sprint? But could 2 sets of softs not be a bad shout here? I don't think it would be as quick, but it would be fascinating to see. Come on then, let's do this thing. Sprint race Saturday. Goal number 1 as always is try to beat Lando. It's 5 red lights. That's the lights out. And away we go then. A little bit wheel spinny on the launch. But we will try and cover off in towards turn 1 there. Can we have a bit of a look now? AI a little bit too good on the brake there. I just don't have confidence in turn 1 as Lando just slowing Oscar Piastri down a little bit. I'll try and split the McLarens nice and early on. That's George Russell trying to streak away into an early lead there. And now we've got a British 1, 2, 3 at the front of the order. Happy with that. Off the start of the Grand Prix, they were able to get between those 2 McLaren cars. But you can definitely see where the AI is super good through that first sector. Nothing you can really do against them off the top of the hill. But yeah, I think Lando immediately then, after we've made some progress, is going to try and see if he can find a way around George Russell as well. I mean, you see how much more bite we've got through there. The AI just for some reason will... Whoa! What's Lando doing? Come on. Easy does it, sir. Nice and tidy through those fun a couple of corners. Johnsy, thank you for the follow, buddy. Welcome on in. Yeah, they don't charge you yet. That's a very good point. What's Lando doing? I think he's trying to play tricks with me early on. We might get a run on him up down through turn 2. What's he doing? He's just taking a swipe at me. I don't know if he got damage from that as well. What is that? Well, wheel to wheel, he just turns into me. Oh, no. I don't know how bad the damage is. We might be alright. We might be alright with that. But that is ridiculous by Lando Norris. Taking a swipe at your World Championship rival. That might not be 400 noggins gone yet. We can dig deep. Oh, and he let me through before the DRS zone as well. I don't know whether he got any damage from that, but I'm trying to have a look at his wing. I don't think he did. That was optimistic. The AI update feels fairly good. I mean, they're still very good here at COTA. Again, this is probably another circuit that's a really good test of their skill now. But of course, not helped by the fact I've got damage, so it's a bit more difficult to kind of tell. But I think Lando, yeah, is walking away from George now, so... Definitely Russell struggling in that Mercedes. Great one-lap pace. Kind of a bit out of nowhere, to be honest. I think he was just one of the only drivers that got that lap really hooked up in qualifying. So tricky to try and get the car exactly where you want it everywhere. Especially, obviously, like I said, through the left-handers, we're losing a lot. Through the right-handers, it's not as bad. But I tell you what, when we get into the real race, though, McLaren look like they could be very, very good here. We could be in for quite a dogfight as we head into the main event. It's going to be a tantalising prospect. Oh! I mean, look at that. You just snag the front. And Charles Leclerc will say thank you very much. I might be able to get the run back on him, though. Charles? Where has he got that speed? He's absolutely had me. Oh, no. Oh, I just immediately felt the tyres starting to go. Oh, someone's had issues. Verstappen's into the pit lane. No idea what's happened to Max then. But Verstappen's picked up front wing damage or something somewhere. Oh, and what's going on? Antonelli's now blown up in my face, so I lost 2 places. I should have lost 4. Oh, come on, though. Come on. Lando Norris. He is going to win the sprint race here from the Circuit of the Americas. A good return to the top step of the podium for him. It's going to be, I believe, Oscar Piastri for P2 ahead of George Russell. Charles Leclerc, a very, very good recovery drive all the way up to P4 after a lot of chaos towards the end. Tsunoda in 5th. We will hang on for 6th place, though, just ahead of Esteban Ocon. Honestly, 2 points. I'm pretty happy. Well, there we are then. Lando Norris. I mean, controversial win, I'm going to say it. I don't think he deserved it personally. But Formula 1 doesn't care about fair. Oscar Piastri in P2 ahead of George Russell. And then a 18 second gap to Charles Leclerc in P4. Tsunoda ahead of myself. Esteban Ocon and Behrman did just hang on ahead of Hulkenberg for that final point. A Haas, a Sauber and a Williams battling for the final point in a sprint race. Goes to show Formula 1 is becoming a little less predictable there. Fernando Alonso, a good recovery from the rear of the field. Verstappen did get Liam Lawson on that last lap as well, with Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar both failing to score. What does that do to the World Championship? Well, it means now my gap at the top slashed to just 33 points. Norris there 10 ahead of Charles Leclerc once again. But I'm pretty certain it is mathematically now only the top 5 can win it. But I'm pretty certain, yeah, Verstappen and Oscar Piastri are out of it realistically as well. It's becoming a 3-horse race towards the end of the campaign. McLaren makes some good inroads on Ferrari's lead at the top of the constructors, back down to just 87 points there, as Mercedes still ahead of Aston Martin. Sauber now dropping away a little bit, but still ahead of VCARB for them most importantly. Sprint race done and dusted. Let's get into the real thing. But first, it's time for qualifying. How are we 6/10 up then? Where did I find half a second through the exit of those corners? Oh, Leclerc even faster up to the top of the board, but everybody's improving. Track is definitely ramping up then, right towards the end of this session. As we will try and drain a load of battery, Verstappen lowers that benchmark even further to a 130.9. What can we do though? Oh, come on, nice and easy, nice and easy. Sector 3, as long as I keep it tidy, we can find some speed. Purple through that middle sector. Come on, 8/10 up. This would pretty much put us up in line with pole position here. We've just got to try and nail the final few corners. No idea where the McLarens have gone on the board, but hopefully we will be ahead of Lando Norris here. 2 more corners to go. Whoa. Completely having to correct myself through there. We kept it just about inside track limits. 1 more corner, nice and tidy. Get the power down on the runs to the line. I think it's P2. Second. We'll take it. We'll take it. I reckon we bottle pole in that penultimate corner, but we were still pretty close. We went quicker than Charles. That's important. But Verstappen there again, just having another one of the laps of his life. Lando P4. Very good recovery in the end. Just ahead of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Alonso. Look at that. When Alonso doesn't get taken out by Lance Stroll, he can qualify between the Mercs here, which is pretty good going. Hulkenberg inside the top 10, just ahead of Albon. Stroll, Tsunoda, Bortoletto, all going quicker than Oscar Piastri as well, so that's quite a disappointment for Oscar. Gasly goes P14 again, doing a bit slower that time around, and Ocon, the driver we battled with right towards the end of the sprint race, down at the rear of the field. That's quite a surprise by him. But yeah, I think that small error through the penultimate corner ultimately cost us pole position there. But we're going to be in a position to fight. And Verstappen and I know we both want redemption as we head into this race. Right, come on then. We've got to try and beat Verstappen. He's on softs. Leclerc's on softs. Okay. 5 red lights. Oh, and we have not responded well. Verstappen's got a great launch. Leclerc will probably get me. But I'm not too worried about that at the start. No, Leclerc doesn't actually get a good run in towards turn 1. So we're going to be wheel to wheel with our teammate there. And we will give him a bit of a squeeze out. Hamilton on Rosberg 2015 style. But yeah, gambling for a soft compound tyre at the start of this race then. That is a big, big call by the AI as we wind our way through the first couple of corners. Keep the front end of the car tipped in. It's so important this time around that we don't get front wing damage. I want to find out what strategy... Hey, oh, I pressed the wrong button. That scared the life out of me. I was like, what on earth have I done? How can I... Oh, that one, isn't it? So, is Verstappen 3-stopping? No, Mark won't tell me. It's lap 1. I should have had my heart rate monitor on then. It would have genuinely spiked in that moment. It was... I mean, it was cold, but it was a good, fun race. A lot of action, luckily. Which always helps. I mean, we saw the Merc crash right in front of us, and that was a big one. But a lot of people didn't seem to realise it was the Ferrari's fault. Like, the Ferrari behind hit the LMP2 car that's spanning basically into the side of the Merc. And just none of the camera angles really showed it. Jack, thank you for the follow, buddy. Welcome on in. And K-Doggy, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, here we go. Is this going to be the lap then? Really nice run. Oh, hello, Verstappen. Trying to go a bit defensive, but I said it. I said it after 5 laps. The medium tyre becomes the one you want to be on. And although Verstappen and I still pulling away from everybody else, we have just pulled ahead of the Dutchman into the lead for the first time today. I thought, yeah, when those AI were on the softs at the start, I thought Verstappen was going to sail off into the distance. I certainly think he's tried to, but it just has not worked for him, as Leclerc now actually holding up Lando Norris a bit and Alexander Albon, so I think Leclerc really beginning to struggle on those softs. I just don't think they're a viable tyre around this venue. You guys often act as my race engineers, but we have no idea how this will end up going. Oh, Verstappen. He's got to be careful he doesn't do what he did in the sprint race. I love the fact you can see the cars as well, winding through that final sector. Oh, yellows. Is that Verstappen? Yes, it is. Verstappen, going to be our first retirement end of the day by the looks of it. Engine going bang there. Clearly couldn't handle being in my dirty air for too long. And yeah, the Dutchman, this has been a terrible, terrible weekend for him. That I think pretty much means he is out of the World Championship hunt. What are Ferrari doing to Charles Leclerc? Why is he on a double soft stint? So Lando is definitely two-stopping this, so he should be diving in probably now, I would assume. As Oscar Piastri's done, I think the strategy that Ferrari told me categorically I wasn't allowed to. There we go, so Oscar's done pretty well then, to take those tyres 20 laps. Sorry, Lando even. It's just a very, very weird strategy. I don't know why nobody's risking the one-stop. I am going to... There's not a lot you really can practice with the Indy 500, though. Because unless you run with other people, like, the race is nothing like practice. Because it's all about the dirty air and the fuel strategy and everything like that. So there genuinely isn't a lot of practice you can do. I mean, when I did my actual Indy 500 on iRacing earlier on this year, I did no practice for that and I won by like 20 seconds. Mainly down to fuel mileage and staying safe early on. It's all those things you've got to consider. Right, come on then. Hopefully our one and only pit stop of the day. Don't understeer. Thank you. Wonderful. Ari, thank you for the follow, buddy. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. So will we save a little bit of fuel in the pit lane? I hope so. Make sure that I don't just sit there revving the engine, as Lando Norris is going to go past us. We should still come out in P2, though, I'm pretty certain. We should have a nice little buffer ahead of Alexander Albon. So we have definitely saved a little bit of fuel then through the pit stop. Not a huge amount, but it's all useful. And now, yeah, basically a half distance then. Can we catch Lando before he pits again? It's the only real interesting one. But ultimately it doesn't make much difference right now. I've just got to start thinking about the fuel numbers. Is Lando in? Lando is into the pit lane then, so we're going to reclaim the lead of the Grand Prix at long last. Been a while since we've been up in P1. We've still got to try and save 0.1 laps worth of fuel. But now we're going to be on the same tyres as our fellow Brit towards the flag. But how far? I mean, the gap should be about 20 seconds here, so we've got a fair bit of time that we can afford to fall back on towards the end, despite the fact he's going to be on fresher tyres. Lando Norris is going to come out. It's actually going to be less than 20. It's going to be about 13. I mean, it's the thing with Lance, isn't it? Is he still makes rookie errors, and he's been in the sport now for nearly 10 years. And I mean, if you're an Aston Martin shareholder, you've got to be there at some point, kind of going, look, we want to win a champ. I think if Aston Martin suddenly end up in a position where they're able to fight for the wins and the championship next year, and Fernando is right up there and Lance just isn't, that's when questions have got to be raised. I honestly wouldn't even say that he's that much better than Sergeant Latifi, Nick de Vries. He's just had way more opportunity. You give me 100, what is it? Close to 200 races behind the wheel of a Formula 1 car now. I'm sure I'd get close to a couple of podiums. Just the law of averages dictate if you do something enough, it's sometimes gonna go your way. I mean, the fact Drogovic now has gone to Formula E for next year kind of makes it obvious that Stroll's there to stay. And they've clearly got a backup plan for when Fernando retires. Oh, chat, my headphones have died again. They keep doing this at the moment. I'm worried I'm going to have to buy a new set. I was actually thinking, genuinely about 5 minutes ago, that they were hanging on pretty well today. They normally just take a minute or so to, like, reset, but... Maybe I can keep driving and we should be alright. Right, maybe that's fixed it. It has not. It might be TikTok messing up it, to be honest. We've only got 10 laps to go. We can survive. It's not the end of the world. Why don't you have enough petrol in my car? I beg your pardon. Oh, wait, that's Norris. I hadn't even realised. When did he get there? I thought that was like Lance Stroll laughing himself or something. Oh, no. I've immediately dive bombed him. Ah! Just like in the sprint race, then we're going to pick up front wing damage, colliding with Norris. That time round, though, definitely my fault. Oh, come on. Defend the inside. There we go. We're good. It's just how good the AI get a run off of there. Oh, I should have been more strategic with that. I should have had the DRS for myself. How long would it take to say Carlos Sainz's name? Oh, no, 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 no. That was a bit more touring car-esque. Okay. Apparently, Lando's still dictating the line. Oh, these tyres are going. Oh, come on. Stay there. Again, that heated rivalry with Lando means he's not afraid to get the elbows out with me. Oh, he damaged his wing. He ran into the side of me.
1 minute 36.1.
Lando might be in trouble towards the end of this race then. He's still got way more straight line speed than me up the hill, but now we've both got wing damage. And I don't know how bad his is going to be. We'll see what his lines are like through the S's, but maybe there's a chance. He still put a load of time on me. To be fair, it doesn't help when I can't hear what the car's doing very well. One more lap to go then. Here from Kota. We've desperately just got to try and hang on ahead of Russell. As long as I can stay ahead of him in towards... no, I was going to say the S's. George. I mean, I definitely gave him a big old squeeze there. Come on. I got to try and get back down the inside. I'm not going to do it. George is going to have me. Can I stick with him? Oh, what is that line? Absolute disgusting line there. And George Russell pulling away through the exit of the S's. I just cannot do anything on this last lap. I mean, look at that. We've immediately dropped about 1.5 seconds on him by the time we even get out of those corners. So, a really, really disappointing end to this race. Unless I can do something down the back straight. But, I mean, even then, the car was just all over the show. No fuel, no tyres, everything like that. It is all going wrong right towards the very end. Front wing damage as well, that I had kind of forgotten about.
Okay, they're on old hard tyres.
Oh, come on.
17 laps old. Alright, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap.
Oh, this is so painful. Such a disappointing end to this race. Honestly. Not the way I wanted things to go when all is said and done. But through the final corner... it is going to be Lando Norris that claims victory today. The first time in a long old while we have seen anybody that isn't a Ferrari at the top. I didn't realise we were actually struggling so much with engine overheating as well, apparently. Right towards the very end, so that probably hasn't helped us either. As the car runs out of fuel through the final turn, it is going to be George Russell in second. We will limp home. A disappointing P3. Well, there we are then, by the end of the Grand Prix. I'm just not convinced the one-stop strategy was the way to go. But with an overheating engine, with no fuel, front wing damage, no battery, honestly, and tech issues as well, 15 points, I don't think we can complain about too much. A British 1-2-3 when all is said and done. Lando Norris ahead of George Russell and myself. Fernando Alonso in fourth ahead of Leclerc. Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Sainz, Piastri and Gasly rounding out our top 10. Andrea Kimi Antonelli from the back of the field almost recovered for a point, and it was just Verstappen that failed to see the checkered flag. What does that do to the World Championship? What it means now, the gap at the top has been cut down to just 23 points again ahead of Lando there. Charles Leclerc still in third, but 48 points back. The 3-stop was definitely not the way to go either. So Ferrari completely messed up the strat. But I believe then with 5 races and 2 sprints to go, there is 143 points available. So I believe, 141 points available. So Yuki Tsunoda, George Russell, they are both mathematically out of the World Championship. It is between myself, Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri. Constructors-wise, Ferrari, though, still an 85-point buffer at the top of the table. We only lost out 2, I believe, to McLaren in terms of the GP as well. So I don't think we can complain too much about that one. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get